Alright, so I was watching a new Toy Story 5 promo from Pixar, and there is a crazy theory here. And I noticed something that no one is really talking about. So this isn't fully my theory. I saw a little version of it floating around on X/Twitter, but I wanted to dig a little deeper. And we also missed a huge detail in the trailer. So let's get into it. First off, I want to say this new promo is actually really interesting and fun. It basically shows us what the toys are up to now. Woody, Buzz, and Jessie. Like, what are they doing in the current lives after Toy Story 4 ended? And it's actually very interesting. But the ones that stood out to me the most was with Jessie. We got a bunch of new scenes that we haven't seen before. So the first new scene is with Jessie and Bullseye hiding behind a bucket, and it has a few cowboy stickers on it. And this is very interesting because we obviously know this is not in Bonnie's house, so they're in a new house. And then we get a really cool scene where Jessie and Bullseye are riding a real horse. It's out of control and then goes into a barn. And we actually saw that barn in the trailer with Woody and a pig. So that's very interesting too, that they're actually riding a real horse. And then we see them in a car with a kid, but we don't see the kid's face. And that's where things get interesting, because they want us to assume that it's Bonnie, but it possibly might not be Bonnie, and it might be a new kid. So in the trailer description, a lot of people miss this very important detail. If you look in the trailer description, it talks about new and returning characters and who is voicing them. And there's this new character called Blaze, and it says, Blaze, an independent 8-year-old girl who loves animals. She's the only new kid character who actually gets named in the description. And that means a lot because it obviously means she's important. And if she loves animals, that explains a lot. That explains the horse, the pig, the barn, and the whole farm vibes. What if Jessie and Bullseye are with Blaze in all of those scenes? Now here's my theory. I think Bonnie might give Jessie and Bullseye to Blaze because Blaze loves animals and probably lives on the farm. And so Bonnie doesn't really play with them anymore, so out of the kindness of her heart, she's like, hey, Blaze, my friend, let me give you these 2 toys that I think you will really enjoy. And that's where Jessie and Bullseye fit in perfectly, right? She lives on a farm, there's animals, and Jessie is a farm girl, and we have Bullseye, a horse. So all these farm scenes could be Blaze's farm. And like I mentioned already, the shot in the trailer with Woody in the barn and the pig, we all didn't really know what was going on there, and that's how it could connect. They're trying to save or get Jessie to come back, and the pig and the barn, and something goes on or goes wrong there. Obviously, that is not Bonnie's house. It's obviously a new house. So I'm putting the 2 and 2 together that is Blaze's house. A lot of people at first thought that could be Emily's house, right? Because a lot of theories were going around that Emily could be involved in Toy Story 5, but now I'm thinking it's Blaze's house. I like what they're doing here. They're going to contrast the farm life with the technology. And we already got that tablet storyline, so Blaze's farm and how she lives is more old school, imaginative, hands-on, and we'll get to see that contrast between the two, and I think it's going to work really well. And so now going back to Emily, this is where my second part of the theory comes in, because she was rumored to appear in Toy Story 5, right? And we did see that one scene that looked very familiar to a flashback scene from Toy Story 2, where Jessie is on the tire swing with a girl, and it kind of looked like that flashback scene, and so a lot of people just assumed that that's what it was. But what if it's not? What if it's Blaze playing with Jessie the same way as Emily played with her? And that is why Jessie connects with Blaze so much, because it mirrors what she dealt with in the past. And so it really brings her back to the past, and she feels at home, and she feels like Blaze is Emily, even though she's not. And I actually think that's very possible because of the lighting and the background. It doesn't look perfect to the flashback scene, so it could be just a parallel and to get Jessie feeling those emotions. So in this scene, I think this is where Bonnie gives up Jessie. She's looking at Jessie and is like, do I really want to give her up? But then realizes that she does want to, and she doesn't really need Jessie anymore. But this also could be where Bonnie realizes she needs Jesse. So it could either be at the beginning where she gives Jesse up, or at the end where she gets Jesse back. That is what I'm thinking. And then also we realize that Jesse will probably meet the new characters like Atlas, Smarty Pants, and Snappy at Blaze's house, because all of those new characters haven't been seen in any of Bonnie's house scene. Also in this scene, we see a bunch of horses, so I think this is where at the end of the movie and Lily Pad is on their side and is helping them go back to Bonnie. I think it's like a full circle moment, like, you guys need Bonnie, Bonnie is sad, or Bonnie needs you guys, like, I need your help. And Lily Pad, I think, will be a redeemed villain and is going to be like, guys, I need you to come back, and they're on the iPad finding a way back. But this is definitely in Blaze's house. And now this is where my theory gets a little deeper, a little more interesting. What if Emily is Blaze's mom? I know this is crazy, but there was rumors that Emily would return. And to make her a parent now and not a kid, making her Blaze's mom in the movie, and Jesse going to Blaze and playing with Blaze, and then seeing Emily all grown up, that would be a full circle moment and really would be emotional. Now, do I think they'll go there? Possibly. We did hear rumors about it. I'm not really sure. Or it could be that Blaze is living in Emily's old house, but Emily is not in the film. So I think something like that will happen, where something and Emily will be tied in, because we did hear a lot of rumors about the tire swing returning, about Emily returning. So I do think they will somehow bring a full circle moment, and Jesse realizing that Bonnie needs her, that she needs to move on, that kids grow up, and all those key emotions. And so yeah, we saw a lot of different scenes. I'm just gonna flash through them that look like they're in Blaze's house and not Bonnie's house, because you see the horses in the background, you see the different environment. It's obviously Blaze's house and not Bonnie's. So yeah, this is really interesting that a lot of people missed over this new character in the description of the Toy Story 5 trailer. But what do you guys think? Are you excited to see more of Blaze? And do you think Emily could secretly be Blaze's mom and return in Toy Story 5? Comment down below and like and subscribe for all the latest Toy Story 5 news.